composition. They've gone for something quite a bit more
Okay.
standard.
So
what is the
APEKS,
norm, I would say, over on
1-0.
their side. So I don't think it's impossible
They're on
that
defense,
they return
ultimates
to
on attack.
prominence on this one. And again, like we've seen some close games, we've even seen some defeats here for the side of APEKS. Obviously, they're feeling confident coming into this one, but
with a favorite in
Ultimates get to
America,
start out
I
on that
imagine
attack
MAT.
side.
I don't know enough about the
I don't
other
know.
teams in the
I
region.
think we've already seen that on an individual basis, they can easily go toe-to-toe with this APEKS roster.
They chunked some damage,
two
man.
of them already tagged fairly low in this round without even seeing anyone.
You're right, Tom. We have definitely seen that they can go.
So they take over towards C.
This squad, but
they tank a little bit of
reality
damage,
is,
and in reaction, well, I say in reaction,
that very slow start
all they
to
did
the
was
first
fight
map
heavy C,
and a
fight
slow
heavy A,
finish
and they
as
get
well.
A, and they did damage on
You
the
don't
C
want to see
players.
the same sort of scenarios popping up their ugly heads. Both pistols, one in the last, 13-9 to close. It's a disappointing scoreline.
Any teams I like from Pacific Ascension? I've only watched DSG. I actually watched like 3 games from DSG to qualify. Just because I was relatively interested to see what's happening with them.
No one to fall just yet.
And they look good, but again, I don't know anything about the other teams there, so can't really comment much.
Ooh, it's a awkward battle up close.
There's a lot of low HPs here.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy pickup. Spy has managed to hit one with a collat, and it's turned into a clutch scenario. Mo to try and face off against 2. As said, he's had many a great scenario for this squad.
Very nice, man. Still some low HPs. Like this could have been the opposite way. Okay, in terms of pistols, 2-1. APEKS get their first pistol.
But it doesn't.
In the end, carried across by sub 50
PSG
HP
winning
combined,
would be amazing.
It's enough.
Yeah, it'd be cool, man.
Get them
would be cool.
Leg up in the early stages.
I feel like
certainly put in a little bit of
Toast has had a rough time. I haven't really followed other games that he's in.
The hype curve,
But, at least in Valorant, he's had a pretty rough time. It'd be cool for him to get rewarded a little bit.
Oh, in fact, all rifles.
I also think content teams
they're really putting their credits
a really good chance of working.
Let's make them dance.
This is something that, again, if you can keep it clean, it sets you up with a wonderful bonus. But personally, I prefer having at least a pistol or something in there, just because it allows you a small margin for error. This leaves none.
That's a big knife, man.
And they've already lost
that's
2.
some nice shots also, though. We got some guns down. Do we just insta
early
pivot to go get them?
Fights have gone their
yeah,
way,
it becomes very obvious in the next 5 seconds that they're doing this, though.
It's going to be incredibly costly for the next round. Kayak is ready and waiting. I think this should be easy pickings for him.
Yeah, and we can
know exactly where he is, but again,
we know there's a gun here, so he's probably going to repeat.
Catastrophe for APEKS.
It really would. It's the danger of this kind of investment. Solka's just 20 HP. It's time to get out of there. Create some distance. The net will do exactly that. Luckily, he's going to cling on to life.
XQC still wants to buy a Valorant roster
on 70.
I feel like
this is a very doable round for TU, and sure, they're
man,
tagged up
I kind of wish.
Kind of wish no pressure on their
Tier 2 was
B-side
looked at a bit differently.
Reveal for the right. The plant
in terms of like Riot, I think they could do some really cool stuff, man.
Better. Now it's APEKS that have to push into them, and not only that, they have so few players they can't contain them properly. 2 are coming from C side, so Sand has all this space to loiter and try to find a nasty little angle. In fact, almost sneaking his way through. I don't think Solka saw it, and with the low HP, can't win the fight. A beautiful headshot for Sand, and an upgrade now as well. 30
I mean, this is really hard to retake now.
So far,
what the hell was that?
Kayak made
what was that?
Seal this one in. Spy won't land both shots, but there was an opportunity.
I mean, it was still nice. Look, that timing was really good on Heaven. I think it was just a visual bug and he had his gun out.
Yeah, and it was already very costly. There were genuine potential, especially in that 2v2, that the Ultimates are able to actually win out the round, which, considering investment, would have been incredibly surprising. Not expecting the reswing after those 2 players were lost, and well, I do now look towards what's going to be invested in this round.
Not too much for this bonus.
Just the pistols purchased up.
Yeah, we ain't got much for this.
The players that lost their guns.
Let's see how much damage they can do against this, because should never be really winning this round, even though we've seen the madness.
A great opportunity for the Ultimates to have a much easier bonus round than would have been expected.
Don't do what I think you're
going
to do, guys.
Everything we've just talked about hinges on them actually landing this round, right? Like the damage and so on. It's undone if they lose 3 sheriffs, one actual rifle. It's a
What a
Vandal,
flash.
and, well,
Oh, that's a gun. We can
Bulldog
take
to
this.
open it up.
Extra
Beautiful
little...
flash to open it. Avova. Paranoia used, cutting off the Raze, who's now around the back of the site and traded after just one. That's a great return.
Yeah, they got the
APEKS.
passing advantage. They push down, they get the gun as
three
well.
Rifles. They're set up for success.
Three person all goes heaven, they can all dodge this and then insta clear the space that they would have taken.
It's not going to connect onto anybody, but that's enough that they can at least try and gain some ground. Timing here will be everything, because it was only just dodged. Spy has been dinked up as well. This is getting into really dangerous territory. The damage in the last round becomes meaningless if they lose it, and now Soulcast has found another. This was 3 pistols and a couple of rifles, and it's turning, well, more than competitive. Trying to cling on to things. A double, valid. And while the swing around looking to come through from
Soulcast, the timing.
Missed the boat a little bit here. The shot's not quite
what
connected.
A swing from Mosley.
And now Mo just trying to hold on. A 1 versus 2, but he's sectioned off, having to try and spam away.
No way,
dude,
to this wall, man.
As he does. He will
got too much
lose his
HP
life.
on it.
APEKS are going to make this 3-0.
Oh,
and
bro, they want a bonus with,
what,
3 sheriffs and 2 guns? Ridro, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate that. Thanks for the tier 1, mate.
You seem to see the
this was cool, though. This little KO flash. Little KO pop flash.
Well, when you look back, they're formless. APEKS constantly managing to upset the rhythm of the game, and for TU, they made it
Deadlock
so
value,
close.
yeah. I mean, they should be buying here, though, right? 2-9 loss bonus. They got a plant as well.
He had the right idea. He knew he was going to be swung, but
timeout. What are they all sitting on?
Mesh.
I mean, they're sitting on pretty good money. I'm pretty.
Just slow them down. The Ultimates have called a timeout. Already 1 map behind in the series.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to do.
At a potential big streak of rounds coming out of APEKS with an eco faced by the attackers here. They really need to have
flashes. Yeah, I mean, KO on this map, people aren't used to playing against it, so stuff like that.
And if they make
you got to think of how many
this
practices
series
they've played. How many times have they had a pop flash from someone to get this guy? I reckon it hasn't actually even happened in their practices. No one really plays KO on this map.
I think they'd definitely rather still have that.
There's a couple of teams, but it's a real low amount.
Especially with the teams,
probably like 5% of teams
you're likely to face, specific in CGN, have been rivals that
I think solo KO is very underrated on this map. Yes, I agree. When I watched Foot in the off season, they look sick with it.
Yeah, 2 very different teams.
That was why I was so hyped about them beginning of this year. So I was looking at the Sky nerfs thinking, damn, Foot are already ready for this. They've already got the comps ready, good to go. One of the best KO players there is.
Explosive Turkish squad that I don't think anybody wants to face. I think it's a team that on their day
they opted to not go for the full buy.
Will likely ascend. They have looked impressive.
And we're going to see a B retake.
Whether or not experience will be able to outdo them. For now, though, an early pause, a wake-up call. This isn't their map choice. That slipped away from them already. And although they've had their moments in these last couple of rounds, that last
what did that clip?
Should have been
there. That was the nade on the other side. Okay. I was so confused by that.
They're all having a rifle for Sand, something to try and do some damage.
Like this from these 2, though.
Of a teammate.
Yeah, and love this from Hype as well, pushing over towards behind, over towards B main. People that watch my stream know that if people take here, you pretty much win the after plant.
A single kill, a second as well.
Yeah, do they expect a second guy here? I mean, they're not going to win, but they did pretty good damage-wise. Shout out to Hype here as well. Camera, spots over towards C, nothing here. B pressure, as long as, again, always talk about this at the moment. When you hit over towards B, if you do not have this control, 95% of the time, I would say roughly, you're going to lose. Because if you think about the plant here, you to swing and see that plant, you have to commit so heavy for a small choke point, you can never get a good swing off. So, it's all about B main, this is the priority. And that's why a lot of teams on defense now push through here once they lose B.
Even without the
so this was very good from Hype.
Should have been enough to just take him on the side, but it wasn't the side. It was head on because Hype was facing him. And the problem really is just that the players on site didn't have rifles. If they delayed that push by 5 seconds, that flank is devastating. The double flank especially, they get so much damage done. Instead, well, they're able to react accordingly even after a double kill, and it's just too much wiggle room.
Just as the cage goes in,
yeah,
it can break that. They had 2 people here, so they can keep 4 people here. Knife goes in, hits 4 as well.
A number of players here from the side of APEKS, they know that TU were grouped up outside A, but they expect them to migrate.
I guess Omen's going to one-way this.
That's the thing. That wall was
and then
thrown
can one-way
in.
This again.
It was going to be the defensive side rotating off of A. It being broken kept them for a while, but Eventually, they will make that move. There's also an incredibly deep trip, which has just been destroyed.
There goes your smokes on attack.
It's not even like it's a secret that they're going to head towards this C site. Hype's only job was to delay, and with an advantage already for his team.
Oh, wait, they did so much damage on this guy.
In fact, he can almost wait, but as further responses coming in from this defensive side, the advantage will be kept.
30 seconds left.
Oi, no. Just got him.
Sand has been taken, snatched away,
and then they knew exactly where he was for the spam. Wait, this was sick.
Arrived,
Dude, the deadlock value's through the roof at the moment. Holy hell, camera into nade. Wait, this Lotus looks legit, man.
That was a damn clinical route back in, and for a 5-0 start, they're showing no signs of slowing down with the economy tested for TU. This is a crushing start to what needs to be the redemption map for the Ultimates.
It's just so cursed to lose your Viper when they use a Viper's Pit to the annihilation. It's normally an ultimate that either gets you very, very little or seems to just be a late round irritation. But to actually pull
plays the best deadlock on Lotus. Looks really good so far. I didn't watch enough of it was M80 right that everyone was hyping up on this map. Didn't really watch enough of them on this.
Again, looking to deny the pot flash alongside the net.
Oh, nice shots. Dude, I still feel like the carry flashes are really good at the moment as well.
Where I almost feel like it's least expected.
Gotta follow up on Soulcast for a little bit here. ADS.
He kind of does it in any and all positions. Now they at least know where one man stands. And he again, Sandy,
I mean, that was unlucky, man. Sandy had some nice kills. Individually, this guy's looking good.
That's a full picture, though. They still lost, so it's still 6-0.
I mean, he's got more than all of their kills put together.
Yeah, look again for the round that was in it, for what they had brought to bear. I think they can be pretty happy with it. But the reality is, are you really going to be happy when so far one of your players is delivering a decent show? And I think I'm pretty sure he has more kills than the rest of the squad combined.
He definitely does. I think he has 9. I think they have
like
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's particularly close.
Like this change up from APEKS.
At this point, you can't be happy. Nothing is working.
Yeah, I mean, instant reaction over towards A, force them into a setup where you have double.
It feels like it. Sometimes it seems like the team has a small advantage, but this right here.
A great knife as well. Wait, they go back, they open the door, they knife. Or did they do a knife over the top?
They just can't catch a break.
They fought so much stuff.
Invested everything, and the guy who got a 4K in the last just got spammed through smokes, and then Solka sidesteps to one-tap spy. Evolva doubles up on the fight.
They look so legit right now.
Is on lockdown. Khaled,
oh my god.
The way to see with ult though, they could recover this spike.
They look so good right now. Here we go, man. Let's see it. 1v5.
This would be one way to make a name for yourself.
Juniper, thank you so much for the prime, bro. Appreciate the 5 months.
5. His team have helped him out by doing 0 damage.
Nice.
And that is how the round will conclude. Not a single point.
This is a really cool Lotus. I can't remember if I've watched APEKS on Lotus before, or at least since they've been using this comp. I might have, and maybe I didn't pay as much attention, but it's really nice what they got at the moment. The KO, yeah, the KO's got some cool stuff. The pop flash has been great, but also the knives for info have been really good. Really good.
The last time
we did do it, yeah, I was probably cool. I was probably in the call with someone I wasn't paying too much attention.
They lost 13-1.
I did, but it also didn't look this good. Okay.
On their defense.
There's that also.
They're now on the attack, and they have 0. I think this is just not their map. And it seems like no matter what is attempted, no matter what hero play or individual round like we had in the last map, it's not winning them rounds. Even with plants.
Oh.
I won't count the last one as a retake, but the rest of them you can put in that bracket. A desperate need for something. Most ults have been expended, but a lot of them are getting close again. Showstopper online. This time Sand again. He's going to be just fighting this alone. In fact, he'll meet the opposing Showstopper and he's gone from action already.
Fighter's not found his mark. A close position of hype. Well, it won't be used right
she stopped him from trying to react anyway.
Down to you, but it hasn't sent them in the other direction. And no one seems to be clearing this on the way in. They've spotted him with the boom bot, but not reacted in time. Fighter luckily closed his hype down before he can do much more, but all 3 players stuck. They walked through the choke point. They're looking for a fight.
Not aware of that angle.
Door opens,
Nice
door
shots,
closes
maybe.
for APEKS.
Yeah, maybe APEKS messed this one up a little bit. That's a nice kill though.
His dropped.
Dude, spike out in the open. Spike out in the open.
Dropped on the other side of the door. Oh, from bad to worse.
Oh god, it's nice shots from him as well, man. That was like their closest round somehow still. There's 2 people alive.
For a second, but that moment passed, and TU are again still on that starting block of 0 rounds.
Yeah, again, you sort of said it. This looked like it was finally going to be the moment, even though things didn't start particularly well. They managed to find some balance, a response, and then on the retreat, just getting
he was so close.
Door, a little bit of dissonance between the 2 players, and that is enough. That's all it took, was a small window.
Nice. The knife on this round? Nah, I missed the knife on this round.
What a second pause called. At this stage, your best.
I know he had it when they were like pushing into sight here. I thought he was going to knife inside the ult, but
for most teams will lean to that side.
Got a little replay for me? Sure, I'll check that out. But can replay chat, maybe flashbang.
Definitely had their struggles on the attack in the last map, but other than that, they've proven time and time again they can do it. And it's almost just at this stage, is there going to be any gap or any wiggle room for the ultimates, even if they lose the pistol? It could all be over at that stage.
Here that goes over towards there.
A couple of ultimates online. Again, those haven't had
How's he throwing?
much impact.
It lands so fast that it's on the floor, right?
Is this the first time we've had
just
the
jump
lockdown?
froze it?
That would be nuts, but
let's go.
Considering he has 1 kill, it must be.
Well, yeah, he's not farming those orbs out of
thin air. They got some really good carrot stuff.
Like, there are orbs on the map. I would say those are in thin air.
I mean, normal thickness air, Tom. I wouldn't say it's thin. It's not particularly high altitude. I saw the ocean outside.
Not picking them out of the orb tree. Just looks up. There's an orb tree. Well,
he's not being here. But even then, you know, on an attacking side that doesn't typically have the space to take an orb, I would be surprised if they've been committing them to Mo. And this could be awkward. Hype needs to run. If you've got a Viper, you can slow them, but not as the Cypher. They just run straight through, disrespect the utility, take the fight, and walk in where they quickly meet their demise. This one seems to be
whoever gets this guy enough seasons sounds so good. If they don't qualify, they might qualify.
I wouldn't even mind if he used the lockdown, like genuinely. Like, I understand in this sort of circumstance, normally you wouldn't, but at 8-0 down, in desperate need of a round, gaining any space could be huge. Timing hasn't worked out, and the only other thing is it does lock him into a site. It forces him to commit to A. But at this stage, he's almost just looking, well, maybe for a gun change, just to be a little bit more mobile. Even still, though, he's running into the unknown.
Omen flash. They're just gonna Omen flash us.
But he might just want to try and save it for that post plant. And already the pressure coming through. Paranoia immediate. The steps will be heard. He's left completely blind.
Nice and easy on
and
this.
Any semblance of hope quickly dissipated. 9-0. The chances fell away. The second. Well, again,
really good chance to 12
I will
numbers.
say I've heard amazing things about the Valorant anti-cheat, but when he does stuff like that, I start to question it.
Yeah, he really is a sensational player.
Turtle, if they're smart, yeah, because you'd feel like if you're partnering, you would have something in your
I think that was
contract, right?
Targeted,
to get like fast dibs.
And unforgiven,
but I don't really know.
I think the. I forgot what I was going to say. I honestly just got annoyed by the
Talking about Kayak having more.
Don't really know the rules on like the partner.
When he plays on the Neon, it's much more because the 180 flicks he hits on people are just unreal, and we see a lot of them in the replay. But when you're on board with him, like figuring out how he knows to do that in that moment of the round, the position of the player, how do you know he's not going to just shoot you in the head? I don't get it. Like.
Well, it's like we know where the guy he's sliding towards is, and it's still sometimes I get lost when he's spinning around. Even the players he's up against are like, where'd he go? and they can hear him coming.
We've seen some really cool Lotuses, man. It's almost a shame that Lotus is going out.
Just like,
look at some of the Lotuses we've seen. We had everyone copying Fnatic. Got a little bit sussed out. Then we started seeing people doing like Breach instead of the Viper. That was pretty cool for a while. And then now, like right now, we have EDG with their double smoke comp, which is mental, but it looks really cool. We have this as well. Like there's so many good Lotus comps at the moment. It's a bit of a shame that it's going out.
No. There goes the Viper's pit for the second time. It is immediately lost.
Right, how many times is this guy going to hit his ult?
Well, Halid has to try and fight, and he has to try and fight alone. He doesn't even have enough bullets.
God, the KO Uto is incredible as well. Farfa, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the 6 months. Thanks for the prime.
An opportunity, and again,
thank you for that.
Well, I feel like Viper's pit has had no impact just because it's been killed by an ult within 0.1.
I mean, yeah, every time this guy's doing some kind of Viper pit, he just eats some kind of ult.
Just a little bit too late.
Deadlock earlier, raise now.
Annihilation or a rocket launcher and annihilation that you have to dodge. So pretty tough run so far for poor old Sand.
EDG's comp is awesome to watch. Yeah.
What was it, a 4K round? So impressive. But another 10
I think teams don't attack Odin
APEKS
enough
rounds,
against it.
And it could be 100. Because there's a 0 after TU. They've been stopped in their tracks.
Whoa,
who is this one?
Dude, that's Kayak, bro. That looked nuts, man. This guy is crazy good.
There are no ecos anymore.
I know he didn't get all those kills, but I think like give him an extra half a second on some of those duels.
Can we just roll that whole, not a replay, just roll the whole round again? Honestly, it only took 15 seconds. We've got time in the buy time. Whoa.
Hey, Mitch, all I'm gonna say, the last series that APEKS played, they had an 11-1 half.
Oh, shut up, Tom. It's not.
And then it went 11-11.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
They did still win.
Flash dismissed them all. Everyone tucked left side.
Right, but okay, Tom. I see that, but in that game, did they hit 11 by their opponents just pushing through a one-way smoke and all get one tap?
That's the first kill. That hasn't happened for a while.
Because if that happened, then fair enough. But there's not a heartbeat for TU. I mean, they need to be resuscitated to then have a chance. Halid,
here we go.
He's putting in a good show.
Great trade though. 3v3 retake, by far their best chance. Double kill Molly.
Expended. I don't think there's going to be any more in this round either. It's going to come down to the firefights. We've seen so many a retake. The pot flash, it's wrecked Mo, but there's nobody able to react in time. Fighter, Spy, they combine. Round number 1 looking like it might come up as the final round of the half. And
hey, they're on the board.
The tiniest amount of
they
hope
are on
left
the board,
for the Ultimates will be secured in round number 12. And APEKS would have to have the choke of a lifetime. We will find out if that happens after the break.
You ask a question, you're playing ranks, you won, MVP screen, under reward screen appeared, you had Vice as a reward. Mate, I have no idea about the reward system. I don't play enough ranked, man. You're asking the wrong person. Maybe someone in chat can help you for Mello, but I have no idea. Deadlock? Yeah, they made the Deadlock look good. They made the KO look really good. Dude, again, I'm a little bit disappointed that this map's going out because they got some cool stuff, man. This not on LAN next weekend. Next weekend is LAN. So we got today and tomorrow, one team will go out, and then we'll have the final 3 teams. That is what'll be on LAN. And I guess it's just 2 best of 5s. You think there should be relegation in tier 1? It doesn't really work, man. With teams coming so much in, it doesn't really work. I think they have a pretty good system, to be honest with you. There kind of is with the Ascension teams,
and lock themselves in, not for their next match, but for one of their next.
I think the way it is now actually is pretty good. I'm like one of the few that actually likes
the next one. Will be in
franchising.
In the studio.
And I think that everyone that talks about franchising working and using a CS as an example is just completely delusional.
your management might disagree
because
with that.
They just
it's
have
been a bit of a blowout so far.
some weird,
you know, they got around at the very end.
money,
That's something,
unethical crap going
they have
down.
not come to compete here on Lotus. This map clearly for APEKS, and Tom, this pistol.
I don't think it's the best
example. Needs to go to TU. So
yeah, I kind of like
franchising,
to be honest
they're
with
gonna
you.
have a chance.
I'm like one of the only few.
Hey, as said, in recent history,
I don't think this game works. I don't think this game works with loads of other orcs doing it, to be honest.
But we're looking for silver linings. And basically, we're looking for APEKS to choke the hell out of this game if there's going to be any chance. They go on to the attack. For most teams, that's the stronger side. For the ultimates,
CS just works because of that stuff. And again, it's awesome for the scene. Like, it's so sick for all the players and everyone involved. So sick. But
has managed to hide in the corner.
How's this corner never getting checked?
Solid player to drop at the beginning of this pistol round. The rest looking to potentially fake out or move back to the B side. They haven't gone just yet, but they have. Well, Hype went. He was a little bit further ahead of the rest, but he's still taking the head off Fighter. Paranoia there to try and slow them potentially, combined alongside some utility, but they haven't been able to get out. Khaled's done well. Spy,
yeah, we needed a double swing.
It's left all on to Hype.
We needed a double swing. One was reloading, the other one.
Second round, the streak continues.
I feel like at this point you gotta, if you're on APEKS, start to hate Sand.
Ray, really cool, man. Really liked it.
He's in. Yeah, it's just such an annoying player.
It starts with a pistol. Yeah, 3-1 on the pistols.
You just hate him. He gets everywhere. Of course.
Yeah, this guy ate that flash. Just a little check on this, and it's
out the round
different.
Towards the end. Nice try by Hype, but that wasn't a B. And yeah, Khaled did a great job considering his teammates. It looked like they were going to group up and take that push together, but the barrier was blocking him in. Hadn't faded just yet, so he was really on his own, charging out there, but certainly a valiant attempt, and it's gone it across the line for his squad. 11-2, an essential round for TU, and the next one is an essential round for TU, and we're going to be on this narrative for a little while. There's quite a gap to make up.
Yeah, I'd say it needs to be impressive, but...
Oh, I mean, that was pretty good. Imagine you committed.
For APEKS, wow.
Wu Sight, thank you so much for the 3 months, man. Appreciate the prime.
As the
thank you for that, dude.
Man who could potentially turn
Ben
this
PD as well. Thank you for the tier 1 as well, mate.
Up,
thank you for the 15 months.
Mo has
appreciate the support, you too.
Bit of support. The turret utilized as a early warning system, and once again they look to try and challenge Fighter. He's in a similar spot that he was last round. Again, they're just using all of this Killjoy utility as contact. This is something, of course, last time they played the map, they were using the chamber, so a very different look for any research that had been done. Fighter, though, with the off angle, will take that one without too many problems. The only worry, though, is a couple of players are now fairly low, considering it's only one pistol for Fighter. Everybody else is on rifles. They can't really afford to lose any players.
I mean, Khalid just cleans this up, right?
No, they can't.
Guys, you got 20 seconds. You got to open this door or send it.
Certainly there for APEKS to force that. Khaled, 10 seconds before that spike will no longer be able to be planted. He's holding his ground. Lost his life.
The
spike
shot
down, and now the round.
Spike, no time.
Secure.
No time.
No need to fight, and the fight has cost.
I still tell you what, though, not bad damage. This guy's kind of unreal with a Marshall as well.
Though, the most important
He's always good for one when he buys a Marshall. It's like watching Yampy in that off-season event.
Place for TU, and already we just saw a fight from APEKS.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like when you're up against the wall like this, it does start to get to the point where you just go, okay, even if we lose a couple of players, even if there is high amounts of damage to our finances, we're all in every round. We don't have an opportunity. Well, you technically do, but
the APEKS comp is viable. Yeah, I mean it's viable. It's good.
Against when the ultimate
I would say it's more than viable. I'd say it's really good.
Side of APEKS.
I'm still not 100% sold on the deadlock, but they've had some good stuff with it. I've more been like crazy impressed by all the KO stuff.
So they're going to go for a very direct response almost immediately. It's not started out as they would have hoped, and in fact it's a little disjointed on the way in.
Yeah, okay, this is nice though. We start this one off super easy. We've got 3 armor rebuys maybe. This guy's probably going to keep his armor as well. Money's good. When do APEKS call their first timeout?
Well, TU
definitely been in a similar situation.
for them to this game, to this map, and to this series as a result. Although you do have to question the viability.
Prius get relegated and these observers go to tier 1. Dude, I've tried my whole career to relegate Prius, man. He just stays around.
It is a strategy that
nothing we can do, man. He's just part of esports.
And well, bold of
He's
them
like the Wolves, man. He's just here all the time.
I think if anything, it just signifies
cemented
the fact
himself
that APEKS
in.
are currently not playing a disciplined game. They're playing we're 11-1 up at the half, and we should be able to win this by goofing around. And if it gets a little closer, then we'll actually try and reveal some stuff game.
Yeah, I think they just went for a pacey hit to try and really test the strength of the defense, especially because the last few rounds had just been Fighter on his own. Like, that's the way they played. It was Fighter with a pistol just holding B. So they spotted that there was a gap, tried to exploit it, and there was a lot more than they were expecting. Still feels like B is where they want to go, but it's a complete change-up. Sand has now started holding this.
Yeah, keep an eye on Hype on this one.
Utility,
Hype with a lock here. Like, it's going to change a lot of the minimap once he gets spotted by this
most
turret.
rounds I wouldn't mind this, but when you're up against pistols...
Wait, did he cage up?
It seems like not the most worthwhile risk, and he's going to fall back.
Oh, God.
He had got a lot of ground, but I think he's now been seen by Mo, so that's not going to last long at all.
Oh,
although the B side.
Anyway, man, this guy's always good for one with the Marshall.
He's doing a
he's
great
a lunatic.
job of isolating those fights.
Oh,
just get taken down by a big swing from Kayak. The upgraded rifle, good for one, but damage has been done. Showstopper online. This could get risky. Sonic sensor to catch them as they move out of heaven. Oh, and a shot from Solkas. Sublime.
No way they win this, right?
The advantage, and the
nah, they can't. They should be able to win it. They don't have good pauses.
But the second you
this
tap
Kayak,
spike, you know there could be a rocket coming your way. Shot through the smoke, but it reveals Halid and gets the shot beside him. And
holy, this guy's so fast, dude. He's so fast.
Out of this race.
How's he stolen this round?
I think he started with a Marshall, and what a way to end it. Now 12-4, 8 chances to close the series.
We've said it since the beginning of the tournament. Whether APEKS make it through Ascension this time or not, Kayak is making it into the VCT. He will be there
yeah, he's making it into the VCT no matter what, man. If I'm the APEKS manager, I just added another 0 onto his buyout.
Going to be duelists that get overhyped at times,
Guy's
but this
so
man is
sick.
the real deal. 24-10. He had a great first map as well, and he's looking to just conclude it as quickly as possible. They know where he is. The nade in combination with Halid has done fantastic work again. APEKS maybe a bit too hot off the press. Hype though, he's gonna take a lot of space on B. He's gonna find that opener. The thing is, already as a response from the defense, they're gonna try and go pushing forward, and Sand is waiting. A trade is there, but at this stage trades aren't enough.
Position-wise, doable, like really doable.
That's a really nice play from Malsey. He just sprints
Solkas gets his ult. If they plant, we got one flash for them to take some map control.
You try to get behind him as quick as you can, but Solkas was left back watching. Now they pump the brakes again.
Go.
Same old
story. That is an overstep
same
from
position,
Spy, though. They didn't
same
tap him.
Result. Numbers thinned even further. Annihilation post-plant and a null command. This could be a devastating close. TU with the numbers behind them, but now it's faded away. Mo does well to find one, but he will be dropped. And Solkas has a 1 versus 1. An opportunity to take it across the line here, but it's solid.
Close. That was really close. It's a really close considering it's a 4v2 to get that into a 1v1. Looked nice. Off topic, but have I tried Spectre Divide? Yeah, I tried it in the beta when it came out at the beginning. It was really cool, man. I'll stream it at one point. It's fun. I think it's a good game. I like the concept, like the idea. Feels crispy to play.
It's just these overextensions. I think in a 4 versus 2 scenario, you could just group up, play retake. There really isn't any need to be fighting up against the opponents. If you're trying to play an economy game at this stage,
it's fun, right?
You've lost
really
your
fun.
mind. They've got so many rounds to play with.
Telemetry, have you played that Deadlock game yet? It's fun as well.
And that very nearly
A lot of games at the moment, man. Everything's fun.
Ended there with Solkas. That also allows now for a full investment. An immediate removal of utility. The wall is going to deny an early response. They've broken it fairly
Big Jewel at Heaven.
Getting into the post block could be dangerous. And Kaya
KO
with a
flash
front
again,
slash
man.
From Mosey.
Nah, give Molsey an extra,
Superstar and the pocket pole.
maybe not a 0, but give him something
Got
else in
them
there as well.
openers. Planting, annihilation available. This looks like the beginning of the end.
Maybe double the
It
buyout.
looks like T, you have been annihilated in this series. APEKS. Dominant start to this one, and it looks to close out the same. Annihilation finds its mark, leaving just one to fight. It is Fighter, and he's already found 2, but his teammate coming out of the cocoon, no longer breathing life. It leaves all the pressure on him. A swing from
As soon as he goes towards the trap here and has to
out.
shoot, it's a nightmare. You can see it, obviously. Dude, they
And
dismantled
they are
them on this map, and
guaranteed
APEKS
to
have a
make an
really
appearance
cool
in
Lotus.
Berlin
Really
to
impressed with
fight
some of the stuff.
for a slot in
If you watch
VCT.
this back, and
Yep,
you check
they
out
have
some of the
been one of
KO
the fan
stuff,
favorites
probably
from
the
the
best I've
beginning
ever
to
seen a
make it
KO look on
the
this map.
distance.
And
But the
honestly,
manner in which
like
they
Foot used to have some
dismantled
really good
the
stuff in their
ultimates was
offseason.
super impressive. Of course,
What was it, like was it the Converge LAN or whatever it was?
Here over in EMEA,
Convergence?
the desk will be with you
I think it was that
after the
LAN.
break.
But this was the
Then
best
we
I've seen the
have
KO
our
look. That was
second
sick. 12T with the Prime. Thank you for the 8 months. Shout out to Kayaker as well. That's a performance.